Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your NBA Finals Game 5 preview for Monday night, January the 13th. Look, I'm recording this on Saturday afternoon, right after Game 4 finished last night on Friday, so we're going to get a full preview here of Game 5, a look at the early lines, the player props, and of course, where the public is, because we'll make this once again an official Fade the Public NBA Playoffs edition. In just a moment, we'll get to that information. Quick reminder, I'll be back this fall when the NFL starts with my weekly Fade the Public videos. Did one for Game 2 last weekend. A lot of you enjoyed it, so I thought I'd do another one this weekend as we head into Game 5 on Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, ABC. And we will have a Game 6 on Thursday night because the Warriors won, of course, on Friday to make it a 2-2 series. Going to give you a quick recap of that. I'm also going to look at some preferred player props for Game 5, give you my recommendations on those. The two I mentioned for Game 4 went a perfect 2-0. I'll let you know if there's value with those once again. Also let you know where the public sentiment is for Game 5 over this weekend as we head closer to Monday night. Don't forget about Major League Baseball, though, and I want to bring that up as we head into this weekend on a perfect 5-0, 100% sweep the previous 4 days. We'll look to keep it going this weekend on Saturday and Sunday and into Monday, of course, as well. And if you haven't already taken advantage of the baseball special, it's not too late. I'm extending that tremendous offer which I made this past week because I know some of you sat on the sidelines and missed out. And that's the rest of the baseball season for nearly a 40% discount. Normally it's $685 to get the rest of baseball through the World Series in November, but right now it's just $499, and I'm making it even better because I'm including the rest of the NBA Finals for free. And you might say, well, we only have 2, maybe 3 games left. That might be the case. But Game 5 is a strong 5% best bet for my personal clients, and I have it loaded right now. You can get that rare and strong 5% best bet in Game 5 of the NBA Finals for free with that baseball special. $4.99 gets you everything for the next 5 months of baseball through the World Series, plus the NBA Finals included for free, including that big 5% best bet for Game 5 Monday night. No promo code needed. Just have to go to my page right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. By the way, if you want the 5%er, it is $9 Monday, so that's right. Instead of $35, it's just $9, and I posted that in advance this week. And for anybody joining us early, whether you're joining us Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, $9 Monday gets you that 5% NBA best bet. But of course, if you play baseball, you really should consider that all-access package. Either way, you can't miss out on a big 5% best bet for Game 5 Monday night. Ready right now, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. All right, let's get into the recap here real quick of Game 4. Of course, Steph Curry was the key in that game. Warriors ended up winning by 10. In fact, that was their biggest lead of the entire game. Celtics were up by 7 earlier in the first half. Warriors were really never up by more than 5 at any point until they pulled away in the fourth quarter. And it was unusual for them to pull away in the fourth quarter. In fact, after the first 3 games, Golden State was plus 43 after the third in the third quarter. They won that by 6 in Game 4, so they're now plus 49 in the third quarter of the first 4 games. The Celtics, however, were plus 40 in the fourth quarter of the first 3 games, but they got outscored by 9, and that is why they lost by 10 in Game 4 on Friday night. The other reason they lost, of course, was Stephen Curry. He came in questionable, well, not questionable, he was probable, but there was some thought that his foot was a little bit injured from that late injury in Game 3. When Draymond fouled out, they all went for the loose ball. Curry, the top of his foot got bent back, aggravated the previous injury, although he did stay in the game, and then Kerr pulled all the starters. So I was pretty confident he was healthy, he was going to play, and boy, did he play. 43 points, second most ever in the finals for him. Hard to imagine he can repeat that, and he very well might have to for Golden State to have a chance because he has carried this team on his back in the series. And we look at the adjusted MVP prices now. Curry's around $1.25, minus 125 to win the MVP. And guess what? The Warriors are around minus 135 to win the series. Once again, I don't know why you would play minus 135 on Golden State. Just play Curry minus 125 MVP if you like Golden State to win 2 of the next 3 games and win this series. This is something I mentioned on NBA Tip-Off here on Wager Talk TV way back a couple weeks ago before Game 1. I mentioned if you like the Warriors to win the series, don't lay the minus 160. Lay minus $1.15 with Curry on MVP. It's a little pricier now, but I really don't see any situation in which the Warriors win 2 of the next 3 games without him being a big part of it. And even if he's just a moderate part of it, he's still going to be the MVP because he's dominating right now these first 4 games for Golden State, and that's why this series is 2-2. Boston's probably been the better overall team, but Curry by far has been the best player, and that's why we have a 2-2 series. By the way, they do have odds at some of the sports books for highest scorer in the series, points per game average. Curry is now minus 2,500, 1-25. So it's almost a foregone conclusion he's going to end up the highest score in this series. So hard to not see him be the MVP also if Golden State wins. Now, if Boston wins 2 of the next 3, and once again, they're about a plus $1.15 dog to win the series now. They were over minus 200 going into Game 4, so pretty big adjustment there. Jason Tatum looks like the likely MVP. He's around 2-1. However, Jaylen Brown is still in the mix. He's around 4-1, and he also has a chance. I've seen him as actually as high as 7-1 at some other sports books. That's Jaylen Brown. Nobody else is less than really 50-1. Marcus Smart 50-1, Al Horford, Klay Thompson 100-1. Some books do have Marcus Smart as low as 25-1, Horford as low as 50-1. So shop around. I don't think those guys are going to win it. Marcus Smart's actually an interesting long shot. He played really well, I thought, again in Game 4. He's been tremendous on both ends of the court. So once again, a little bit more open. If Boston wins 2 of the next 3, it could be probably going to be Tatum or Brown. If Golden State wins 2 of the next 3, I really see no scenario where it's not Steph Curry. That's the MVP look for you heading into Game 5. Player props. As you all know, I've been Al Horford unders from Game 2 on. It's worked very well for us. He had that monster Game 1 with 26 points. He was 6 for 8 from three-point range. He only averages about 1.5 threes a game taken. So that was unusual. I knew Golden State was not going to allow that to repeat. Plus, Robert Williams III, the other Williams, they both came back in. With the 2 Williamses down low, Horford doesn't get quite as many minutes as a 6'9 center power forward. And we've seen the under cash now. Of course, the odds makers have done what they need to do, and they've adjusted. As I mentioned, Horford had 26 points in Game 1. He had only 2 points in Game 2, well under the total. The over-under was 11.5 for Game 3. He had 11. It was 10.5 for Game 4. He had 8. Now the over-under is 9.5. So it's gone from 11.5 to 10.5 to 9.5 the last 3 games. So the question becomes, is there still value under 9.5? He'd be 2-2 so far in the series. I think there still is. Once again, he took 6 field goal attempts, only made 2 of them, had 8 points, but that's up high for him. I don't think he's going to get more than 5 or 6 shots. As I mentioned, the 2 Williamses are taking some more offensive time for him and getting more rebounds, second chances. The threes aren't going to be there for Horford like they were in Game 4. For some reason, Golden State allowed him to take 6 threes again. He made 2 of them. He had only 2 combined three-point attempts in Games 2 and 3. So 9.5, I still think there's some value. 8 of the last 13 playoff games, Horford has had 8 points or less like he did in Game 4. So I still think Horford under 9.5 has some value. Not quite as much as the 10.5 and 11.5, but still some value. Horford under 9.5 points. Another prop that I mentioned, I put it on my page free. I also mentioned it on NBA Tip-Off, WagerTalk.com on Friday, was Jordan Poole over in his points. Now, he was as high as 13.5 a couple games ago. It was down to 11.5 for Game 4, and I thought that was an over-adjustment. And Poole had a good game. As expected, he put up 14 points, went over the total. It's now up to 12.5. So the odds makers have bumped it a little bit, but I don't think enough. He's had 14, 10, and 17 the last 3. He only had 9 in Game 1, but that's because he was 1 for 5 from three-point range. In fact, he was 1 for 4 in Game 3, and he was 2 for 7 the other night on Friday in Game 4, and he still had 14 points. Poole is a great three-point shooter, in my opinion. Hits in the high 30s, yet he has hit 26% or worse, 28% or worse in 3 of the 4 finals games. So I think he's due to shoot better from 3. I still think there's some upside with Poole over 12.5 total points, Jordan Poole. Also, I think someone else is going to have to step up for Steph Curry. You thought, maybe if he was injured in Game 4, Klay Thompson or Jordan Poole could have a big night. Well, obviously Curry wasn't injured, but you have to imagine Boston is not going to allow him to do what he did to them in Game 4 in Game 5, which means they're going to probably double him more, or they're going to really get uptight against him. That should leave Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson open for more threes. Now, I have not been bullish on Klay Thompson. I had mentioned in a couple of the shows this past week, I think since he's come back from that year off from the knee injury, he hasn't been quite the same, and the numbers show that. He took the most threes per game in his career this year. He hit the lowest percentage of them, and he's not getting to the hoop quite as well as in the past. So I'm not going to play his under because I do think he'll get a lot of looks. And by the way, he's taken a lot of threes the last few games. But I do think Jordan Poole could be the guy that benefits if they double team Curry more. So I like Poole over 12.5. I liked him over 11.5 in Game 4. It cashed with 14. Over 12.5, still not high enough. So Jordan Poole over. I'd still lean Al Horford under. Steph Curry, I think he's around 31.5 now. Once again, this is a guy that only averaged about 25.5 per game this season. In fact, only twice in his career has he had a season where he scored 30 or more. 32 was career high a year ago, and that's when Klay Thompson was out, so he had to do more heavy lifting. So 31.5 is a really high number, and that's not where Curry normally should be. With that said, though, he has put up 34, 29, 31, and 43. So he's actually stayed under 31.5 in 2 of the 4 games. And as I mentioned a moment ago, you got to imagine Boston's going to try to take him out or shut him down and not allow him to go off again. So you're playing with fire, going under ever with Curry, but I'd probably lean under 31.5. But once again, I like Poole over more. Thompson maybe like over 3s attempted or 3s made if you can find those props, because I think he'll take a lot of long-range shots. But his overall point total worries me because he doesn't get to the hoop, doesn't get as many free throws and as easy 2-point baskets as he used to. So once again, kind of neutral on Klay Thompson in Game 5 for that reason. One other Celtic I'll look at here real quickly is Jason Tatum. As I mentioned, if the Celtics go on to win 2 of the next 3, he'll probably be the MVP, either him or Jaylen Brown. Tatum has not been great so far from a points perspective. He's gone under the point total in 3 of the 4 games so far. He was 26.5 in Game 3. He only had 26. And actually, he didn't score for like the last half of the fourth quarter. He would have had more otherwise. Stayed under by half a point. Actually, that was 27.5, I believe. Yeah, it was 27.5 in Game 3. They bumped it to 26.5 in Game 4. And he only had 23 points the other night. So once again, he stayed under in that game as well. And now the total once again is looking around 26.5. So it's been pretty solid there the last 2 games. That's where it was, I believe, in Game 1 as well. I think there's value with Tatum over. This is still the best player on the court for Boston. And once again, after having 26 or less in 3 of the 4 games, I think he's due to play a little bit better. This is a guy that can routinely put up 30 or more, and he's done that a lot in the playoffs. And he usually comes back after subpar games. I don't want to say he had a subpar game. I mean, 23 points is pretty good, but he was only 8 for 23 shooting. One concern I have with Tatum, though, is if he saw early in Game 3 back on Wednesday, got fouled early when it was a 3-2 game, rolled his shoulder a few times, his right shoulder, which he's had previous stingers and injuries with. So little nervous with Tatum for that reason if something happened to the shoulder. But otherwise, if he's healthy, plays his full minutes, I would lean over 26.5 with Tatum. Horford under. Curry a light lean under, playing with fire there, of course. And then also Jordan Poole over 12.5 I like. That'd probably be my top recommendation. One other guy, Draymond Green, he has not been doing much, obviously. He's fouled out in 2 of the 4 games. He's had 18 fouls total in the 4 games. That has limited his minutes, to say the least. He's still played in the mid-30s, but he's not been as aggressive down low for that. Offensively, he just hasn't been there. 1 for 7 in Game 4, 1 for 4 in Game 3, 2 for 12 in Game 1. I need to see something. As I said the other night, I think his total is 7.5 points. Joe Ranieri asked me on NBA Tip-Off, what would you do with Draymond? Is he going to show up? And it's 7.5 now, under -130 for Game 5. And as I said on Friday for Game 4, he's probably going to break out at some point, but I need to see it first. He's a falling knife. And as you all know, I don't like to catch falling knives, whether it's the sports betting market or the financial markets. And he had only 2 points again in game number 4. And he had only 2 in Game 3. With that said, though, he took 7 shot attempts, made only 1. He took 12 shot attempts at home in Game 1 and only had 4 points. So if he keeps shooting at that volume, he probably will get some points, but we haven't seen it yet. So I'd be cautious with Draymond until it proves otherwise that he can score in this series. That's a look at some of the player props. I hope you found that useful, right? A lot of information is over the weekend here. These lines will move a little bit, but that's probably what they'll be still on Monday for Game 5. As far as the consensus, the Fade the Public consensus, which I know all of you love, and especially we'll be back in the NFL this September when that season starts with the weekly Fade the Public videos. Golden State has been the public play in all 4 games so far. They were very public in Game 1. They came back with them in the bounce back Game 2. Still public in Game 3 when Boston won, and they did not jump ship. They were on them in Game 4, and the public's gone 2-2 so far, obviously, with Golden State. They look like the public choice again in Game 5. Lean towards Golden State with the public consensus. And also the over has been public in every game so far. Public's gone 2-2 there. So the public's kissed their sister on both the side and totals so far. They've gone 2-2 on the side and the totals. And they're on Golden State and the over again, it looks like, in Game 5 Monday night. As far as the side itself, we're looking at a solid -3.5 as of this weekend. Advanced lines, Boston is looking like they will be a 2.5-point favorite on Thursday in Game 6 back at home. And if it goes 7, Golden State's -3. One offshore leading indicator book has an advanced bettable line right now of Boston -2.5 in Game 6, Golden State -3 in Game 7 for next Sunday if we get to a Game 7. What's the odds of that, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked because I did the math. About a 52% chance that we have a Game 7, and this is how it works. Money line, Golden State is about -160 to -170. That's about a 60% chance they should win straight up as a 3.5-point favorite in Game 5 Monday night. Boston will be about a minus 150 favorite and minus 2.5 in Game 6. It's about a 58% chance they win straight up. So the odds of Golden State winning the next 2 games is 25%. The odds of Boston winning both 5 and 6 are 23%. It's about a 48 to 49% when you add them together and when you round up. And then about a 51, 52% chance that they split. That means there's about a 51, 52% chance that we have a Game 7 next Sunday. And once again, the bettable look ahead would be Golden State minus 3 in that game, about minus 150. So there again, they'd have about a 58% chance of winning on their home court. Yet the series odds are as low as minus 135, which is a little interesting. I think the series odds have been off, actually. I mentioned back going into Game 4, Boston was up, actually going into Game 3, Boston was tied 1-1, but they had home court 3 out of 5, and it was pick'em. I thought Boston should have been a bigger money line favorite. They won, then they were minus 200. Now they're plus 115, obviously, but if you do the math, Golden State should probably be a little bit higher than minus 135 to win the series. But that's how the math breaks down. Once again, about a 51.5% chance that we get a Game 7, and we'll see how it plays out. Leave some comments below. Let me know what player props you like for Game 5 on Monday night, which ones you agree with, disagree that we've talked about, other ones I didn't mention, plenty of other players out there, other props that you like for Game 5 as well, what you think of the public consensus. They've been in Golden State in the over so far in every game, and also any baseball you like. You know, baseball, as I mentioned, has been red hot. I head into the weekend here, perfect 5-0 sweep, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll see if we can do it Saturday and Sunday. Check my page daily at WagerTalk.com, because don't forget, my results are posted every day, every night after the games start. The odds are up there. The lines that I had, the analysis, the recap, the last 20 plays. You can go back there and keep track. If you're not quite ready to jump on board, follow me for a while and see how I do things and get a feel for the way I handicap. I've won consistently for the past 26 years as a full-time sports bettor since 1996. Been doing this for over half of my life now, over a quarter century. I love the NBA playoffs. I love Major League Baseball. And, of course, I love football, and that's right around the corner. Don't forget, baseball, $4.99 for the rest of the season, 5 months for the World Series, every baseball play through the finals, the World Series in November, and I'm including the rest of the NBA Finals for free, and that includes a big 5% best bet this Monday night in Game 5. And if you want to try just the 5%er, I don't blame you, and you're getting a huge discount on that. Normally $35, but it's a Monday night game, so I made it $9 Monday, and I did it in advance on both Saturday and Sunday as well. So if you're joining us this weekend, lock in now and get that $9 5% best bet for Monday. Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. It's up there right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. You can get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Thanks for watching once again. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Be sure to check out all the daily shows this week, Monday through Friday on WagerTalk TV. And make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for instant notifications when these type of videos, my Fade the Public videos, go live. We're so close to 100,000 subscribers right here on WagerTalk TV. Thank you for each and every one of you for watching and supporting us on a daily and weekly basis. NBA tip-off will be back Monday night, 4:15 Eastern. First pitch, 1:45 Eastern. Wager Talk today, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. And I'll be guest hosting for the Prez on both Tuesday and Wednesday coming up this week, so be sure to tune in to Wager Talk today. Best of luck. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you again before the game on Monday night, enjoy Game 5. Best of luck. Let's cash in together, and let's win big.